All right, we are going live to Facebook. Let me just share my screen so you can see the website as opposed to my face. How is everybody doing today? Let's see, we're going to share. Should come up. Has everyone recovered from the holidays? I know that I flew back from the East Coast on January on New Year's and started recovering last week, and then it's just been kind of a whirlwind on my end. So I'm wondering if anyone else has felt the post-holiday whirlwind and re-immersion. But I just wanted to jump on today and do another one of my pop-up website reviews. I put a call out over the holidays asking who was interested and got quite a few responses. So I will be going through them one at a time. But the one I wanted to do today was one that Cathy requested. And Cathy is a virtual assistant. And, I really like a lot of things about her site. She indicated that she was going to be doing some changes over the next year. And so I'll highlight a few things I'm noticing. But, Cathy, I will say, all in all, it's really nice. And I apologize for the noise. The co-working space is a little chatty right now for some reason. Maybe coming on at lunchtime wasn't the best idea. But just to highlight some of the things I'm really liking here, Cathy, that you're doing well, and no matter what you do going forward, I would continue to do, is I love how you have your contact information front and center. As someone who's a VA who's there to really support her clients and just to really attend to their needs, the fact that you have your email and your phone number front and center is perfect. You definitely have a strong branding and you showcase it throughout. So this is definitely your brand. To some degree, it feels like a little bit much and it's both in the navigation and front and center here. I'm a little bit wondering if I want to see your face, but I'm kind of on the fence. Your navigation is good. Typically, I would say to put contact on the end, but in this context, it's interesting. My eye sees home and then contact and blog. I'm not quite sure why my eye is doing that. I think it's because you have fairly large spacing against fairly kind of tight lettering. In fact, one thing I might suggest you do with a font like this is to go and increase the letter spacing. And so let me just do that to show you what I mean. So you can see how the HOM, they're kind of almost touching each other. If I update that to 1 pixel, you can just see, I'll just kind of toggle it. You can just see how it starts to give the letters a little bit of elbow room. And this can be important for people reading. As a matter of fact, let's see what 2 does. Because when things are too tight, it gets hard for our eyes to discern, the different letters. And this is a very thin font. So you put all of that together. I don't know that I would necessarily do 2, but if you continue with this font, maybe just do a letter spacing. I actually think that's probably what's going on up here if I were to pull it up. So that would just be one thing I would suggest there. I love how, again, you've got your branding. Cathy is here to help. The only thing I might suggest you shift is this paragraph. The message is great, but I'd like to see you personalize it. So, a virtual assistant, Cathy and her team. I sort of get this, but I know I'm coming to Cathy's business, and I love that you have a team. But part of me wants you to say that, virtual assistants are a highly skilled whatever. I and my team have over 60 years of experience doing whatever. Let me start connecting to Cathy, because when we look at the rest of your site, you've got some gorgeous photos here. And this photo is part of why I'm on the fence about having your logo here, because the second I came down here and saw your face looking at me, I connected. And that is so important with websites. When we talk about how do you have them when they come to your site and they're making that decision of should I stay, the more they connect in with you, the more likely are that they're going to stay. So I really almost want your photo looking out at me up here. Don't know if you have one where the background's cut out so you could keep it on the white. But this is really, I am here to help. Me and my team are here to serve and support you. So consider if you want to bring that connection, that emotional piece a little bit sooner. I'm also feeling like, and this site's in Wix, so I was trying to do some of my normal finessing I can do to show you things dynamically, and it was not having it. So I can't really do that, but I will also say I feel like things are just a little too tight. Like it just feels like block, 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 and they feel really tight to me. When you redo this, I think you just need more white space. I just feel like things are needing a little more breathing room. And the other thing you want to pay attention to, if you can, is line height. If you look at this, and actually let me go to the bottom one, it'll be the easiest to show. If you look at this, these aren't bad, but the sentences are pretty close to each other. And if I recall, your line height is 1, which basically means there's no extra spacing. Think of it like single space, double spaced, 1.25, 1.5 space. So if I upped your line height even to 125%, or I'd almost go as much as 50 for the bottom, no, that's a little too much. You can just start to see how things become easier, and it feels like it leads just a little bit of margin on the top. Sorry, I'm not sure if it'll let me do this, but I can't help myself. Got to tweak. You understand. Margin, top. That's not doing it. I was afraid of that. Let me try padding. Yeah, the Wix environment is making this just a smidge harder than usual. Oh, there it is. So this is where I want to switch it to 150%. And there we said I think 140. And I was going to do a margin top of like 20, too much. 10, that's better. You know, the more you can kind of give things breathing room, it's just that much easier for me to read through your sentences when I have some white space in between them. When things start crashing into each other, which is a little bit what's happening here, it's hard to read. And I noticed this throughout your site. Now, I know you're working within Wix, and to those that are even doing WordPress themselves, they've run into the limitations of not being a web developer and kind of only half knowing how to finesse the situation. So this is just a reality. But again, things to think about. I love how you have your industry served. That's not only useful for people to self-select, but also for SEO. So that's good. And then getting into, again, so here's another great example where things are just oof, on top of each other. Yeah, so hard to see it so squished like this. And I would put this, I would also put a character, a new line. Let's see, yeah, that's a little bit messed up. I put a new line here, so it's a new paragraph. Again, the more things have kind of like chunk, 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 people don't want to read large paragraphs, especially when they're kind of getting information. They're going to scan. And so the more you make things in like little bite-sized nuggets, the easier they will have be able to do that. I really like how you pulled in the navy as an alternate color to your teal. That's really good. Oops, evidently my computer's busy talking to me. A lot. And then you've got these things here. These are okay. I'm not a huge fan. I'd probably space them out a bit. It just kind of feels a little eh. But I do like that at the bottom of the page you are saying, okay, let's start. You know, I'd love to hear from you. Let's see how we can work together. Let's see how Cathy and her team, we're going to keep it that way, Cathy and her team can serve you in your business so you can focus on doing what you love. I don't like that these are underlined, probably just life. I do like that you have social media. Typically, I'm not a huge fan of people having social media, but as a VA, I'm guessing a lot of people are wanting you to do their social media, so it is good you have it. And I love how these are very tastefully done. They're off to the side, they're not obnoxious, they're not rainbow, they're not dancing. I love how they're tastefully done. One thing I did notice, I checked right off the bat, your site is HTTPS, good job. Your site is not responsive. That unfortunately isn't good. Yeah, so unfortunately your site is not responsive. Google will not care for this, nor will your users. So this is something, and it's probably a big motivator to you knowing that you need to redo your site. There's another thing I found that I really want to bring to your attention that is kind of important, like a today important. I noticed you've got a blog and you have blog posts. So I'm not sure how you set it up, but when I do a site check, I'm only seeing your top level pages. I am not seeing your blog. You know, one of the reasons we blog is to get more words to be more well known as in our industry. And so it would be really nice if your blog was indexed. I also am not sure why we have Virtual Cathy Home. Looks like you have this as your site name as opposed to actually making it being Virtual Cathy, where the page is home, where the page is services, and so on. So a little housekeeping could happen there. I do like that you are customizing each of these things. You could even add your phone number to these. You've got the space, since you do a lot of times when we Google, we're just looking for information. So I like how you have learned about how Cathy and her team can help lighten your workload. You know, visit the site, reach out, give us a call at. Those type of things are good. So this piece is good. It's for some reason this top piece that's okay. And the fact that your blog is missing bothers me. So putting that out there, just follow up. Maybe I missed something, but it seems like it's missing. So before I go deeper, I'm just going to go pop over to Facebook for a sec. I'm seeing some numbers go by, and I just want to see, making sure we don't have any comments or questions coming up. Uh-oh, a lot of noise, hard to focus. You know, thank you, Gail. Maybe I will just redo this one again. Thank you for telling me that. I was really concerned about that. I think I'm going to finish it to honor whoever's listening, but I think I will redo it. That is the downside of a co-working space. Unfortunately, I go a little nutty if I'm home too long. All right. Additional things, let's see. So services. This page is good in that I do like, again, you're showing what your, you know, different things you do, space them out a little bit more. Love the FAQ, love the message. This is a well done page. I also feel like this page feels a little more spacious in comparison to some of your others. It's probably because you do have more space here in this blue band, and the FAQs have a lot of white to them. So really liking that, really loving the FAQs. Slightly bigger font here would be good. You probably can't control that, but definitely that would be good to do. But that part is really good. Ready to get started. Plans, again, see a lot of white space. These pages, okay, see, these are brighter, these are less dense. Your footer could even use a little bit of a header to kind of push jumping into all this stuff sooner, because I feel like your footer is distracting me from the page, and that is the last thing you want. But again, really liking the kind of the airiness I feel here. I also feel like your logo on the green is a little heavy as well, and I would ponder, if I was working with you on a redesign, how we could have more of this airy feeling even up here, as opposed to all the black on the green. It's just, it feels a little heavy. I just don't have words of brilliance to fix it at this moment. Contact, fun page. You've got your form. This works. You've got your address, all the stuff you need. Perfect. About page, there's you. A little hard to read here. For some reason, the white on the gray and the thin font is a little hard to read. But otherwise, this is good. Yeah, this is really good. Again, my only issue on the footer, maybe if these links, actually, maybe on your footer, what you might want to do is, instead of it being black on white, which has a better sort of contrast than your white on gray, that's why my eyes go to your footer over your page. That's actually your issue. I was wondering what it was. It's because black and white is the ultimate contrast. And so when you have gray and white, when you have anything else, even your blue on white is not as much of a contrast as your black on white. So maybe drop this down so it's not white, it's a very faint gray. You might mute the footer so the rest of the page can rise up and be louder, because your footer's job is not to gain too much attention. And then you've got your blog, which is great. I'm thrilled you have a blog. What I don't understand is why your blog is not indexing. And as I indicated before, this should be showing up. This is going to bring me to the page if I put it in here. Or it should. Let's see. Let's see what it does with this. Yeah, see, it's not finding it. I would want to get to the bottom of that like ASAP. All right, I am sorry about the noise. Thank you, Gail, for understanding. I'll proof it and see if it can stay or needs to go. I hope you got a few things, and if you, Gail, or anyone else who's watching would like me to take a peek at their website and lovingly provide little things they can keep in mind to maybe just tweak it a little bit. This was, as I said, a really great example. Typically, I feel like I have to do more coaching along the language a lot of good things here that were done well. But even so, something as simple as figuring out that the blog wasn't indexed in Google, kind of a big deal. And so if you would like me to take a peek at your site, I'd be honored to do so. And welcome back again from the holidays. And I look forward to an exciting 2019 with everyone. And love you all. Till next time, enjoy the rest of your day.